folks.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Jerry.
How you doing, buddy?
Okay, what day?
Hey, we've been on 4 great trips together, right?
First, tell us, everyone, what's today's date?
Today's date is the 5th of June.
Of 2014.
You
sure about that?
I'm not sure of anything,
okay,
but my friendship to you.
Okay, so what are you doing here today?
What am I doing here? I think I'm going on the first leg of my journey up to
well, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
To an enchanted place.
An enchanted place. So we're going on a trip.
Yeah, we're going on a trip.
Well, we've already did the Snake River. Are we going back on the Snake River?
No, not today.
Are we doing the Lewis and Clark expedition again?
No, we're not.
Maybe the Galapagos. The Galapagos.
I'm thinking about it, but I guess not.
No. Well, what about Uruguay? We took the trip to Uruguay riding on horseback.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
No, so you got another exciting trip for us. Somewhere around the world, right?
Yeah, way around the world.
Where are we
and
going?
It's coming back again. It's coming all the way around the world, and it's going to end up in a place called Alfred.
Alfred? We're going Alfred E. Newman?
No, Alfred, New York.
Alfred, New York. Where is Alfred, New York?
In the middle of a secluded valley down in the Appalachians, near about 300 miles from here.
300 miles from where we're in Staten Island.
Yeah,
so where was it? Near Buffalo?
It's near Olean.
Olean.
And Wellsville and Hornell.
Well,
I didn't say Cornell. I said Hornell.
Never heard of Hornell, but I did hear of the Olean Bridge Club. You see?
Yeah. Well, this is nestled in a valley, and 50 years ago,
right.
I graduated from this college that is in this small town nestled away in the valley, and like Brigadoon, 50 years later it comes out of the clouds.
They're gonna bring you back.
They're gonna bring me back.
Every time you try to leave,
they're
yanking me back.
Now they're yanking me back. It took 50 years, but like Brigadoon, I'm coming back.
So you're going to your 50th anniversary of the day of when you graduated.
Yes.
Alfred University.
And you know that there's probably nobody there that remembers me.
Yep. So,
it's 50 years ago.
And do you know anyone else there? You don't know no one.
I don't know. So what I know, I think I graduated from there if my memory serves me correctly.
Okay. Well, that's you. I see you brought your cell phone.
Yeah, I brought my cell phone, but
Did you bring your cell phone charger? You forgot the charger. Okay.
Let me just make sure this is okay.
Go ahead. No, you don't have to cut.
Hello? Yes? Great. But we got it now, right? They should have put it in green pen, Diane. They should have done it in red ink or something. Okay, bye. That's the closing. I'll tell you later.
That's okay. Well, anyway, at least I saw you have your cell phone. Did you bring your charger with you?
I gotta go back.
No, I'm sure, because I told him to bring our charger. All right, so we're ready to leave on the trip?
I think so.
Now, which car are we using?
We're using the 2008 green Hyundai. It's equipped with everything but a radio.
Yeah, that's what Diane said. I should bring a portable radio with me because you bought a car without a radio.
Well, I didn't want any distractions when I was driving the car.
Well,
because I'm getting old and I can only do one thing at a time.
Well, aren't you getting like a little too cheap for not a radio? I mean, here you could be driving, you can hear there's a big weather storm coming up, and you needed the radio to tell everything, or the traffic, or the
I feel like I'm on a lonely horse in Montana, and I don't want to be distracted by anything.
I have a feeling you were just too cheap to get a radio.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. We get a chance, maybe we'll stop off at a junkyard. Okay, you pick up a radio for a few bucks, they put it in, and that's the end of it.
Okay.
Did you know you could do that?
Beam me up.
Okay.
Beam me up.
All right. Anyway, so this is Michael and Jerry, and we're ready to start our big trip. We're leaving. Today's Thursday, so we got Thursday.
We hope we get there tomorrow. By tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully we get there tonight.
It's an 8-hour trip, so it's Thursday. Yeah, sure. 8. Well,
I haven't checked it out.
Well, we'll check it. So we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's 4 days. You brought enough underwear?
I certainly did.
That's good. Okay.
I insulated myself from you.
By the way, how come I'm going and not your lovely wife, Diane?
She knows better.
She knows better. Okay. you. Signing out. Goodbye.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
What time is it?
Oh, it's 11:20. We gotta get going. We gotta get going. We're a little bit late. We only got 8 hours to go, but we're rushing. We gotta rush. Get that time in.
It's raining. Put your lights on. Wait for me, you idiot! Wait for me!
Hi, Michael.
Come on up.
We're at the Blue Star Memorial Highway.
Is that it?
The entrance from New Jersey to Delaware, to Pennsylvania from Pennsylvania to New York. And now we're going to trek along the western corridor. Michael, it's 5 o'clock. We got to get going.
Okay,
we want to get to Alfred. Let's get into the car. I can't get in.
Jerry.
What?
You're in the wrong car.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, Jerry, where are we now?
We're going to the dorm, Bartlett Hall. We're on the walking center of Alfred University, the main street.
Yes.
I used to get here all the time. Walk from my dorm down the street, and I go to the school here. Here is this is the Alfred State Tech
Library. We would walk from one college campus to another. Here's Bartlett Hall. This is a place where my dorm was.
Just stop wherever you get it right there, Bartlett Hall. This is where?
The dorm.
Good old Bartlett Hall.
This is where I went to eat. I ate there my freshman sophomore years. I ate at Bartlett Hall. And I lived on the third floor. I lived on the third floor for the first year on the right.
This building doesn't look 50 years old.
It
I guess
is.
it must have been
Reconstructed. And these are two other dorms. I don't remember their names. That were also for freshmen. This is Cannon Hall. Another dorm. There were 3 dorms for men. These were men. We were segregated from the women. For good reason. And
Barisi Hall.
Barisi Hall,
huh?
And over here.
Down here there's a bridge. And you walk to town. Over here to the right there was the athletic field. Now they've got a dorm there. But there was an athletic field. And I would go, to the left of me is the college. I'd go over this bridge. I remember a professor fell down this bridge with his car. And he was a political science professor. And I actually saw him lying stranded here. He made a wrong turn.
Wow.
And he went down this water.
Into the bridge,
Into the bridge.
Sounds...
Now you see here's Alfred State College nestled right next to it. They're arm in arm. They're together in the same town. Now I'm going to make a left turn, and I'm going to head into town. This is the main street of the town of Alfred for the college.
Yes.
And for the...
this professor that went into the water on the bridge.
His name was Royce.
Did he know Ted Kennedy?
No.
Okay.
Not the other one. But he was before Chappaquiddick.
Okay.
This is the old town. We went through here earlier, Michael, when we first came here.
Well, we only went through the 1 to 2 blocks.
Look, and you know there was right here. Here is the bank. This is my bank. I used to bank here. My mother would send me money at the community bank, and I'd go in here.
Yeah.
And I'd get my money and go to get my money. I got maybe $10 a week from my father.
Wow.
And I had a savings account at community bank. And you see where this Alfred Pharmacy was?
Yeah.
That was the post office.
Pharmacy?
That was the post office. They moved the post office about 10, 15 years ago. Everyone would go to the post office and have a post office box. I would get my letters. Homesick, I would come over here and get my mail.
Oh, that's where they mailed it?
That's
they
where
couldn't mail. They couldn't mail. They couldn't mail.
You didn't get mail in your college. You got it at the post office. Wow. And you had a college. You had a college drop.
We could eat at Alfred's family restaurant.
Yeah. I don't remember eating it out. I don't think it was here then. But I want to say over here there was a luncheon and a billiard hall. You would play billiards. Your pool church. Hall. Right here was Alex's Pizza was a billiard hall. And you would play. I would eat here.
And this is where you went.
And I would eat here when I was eating out.
Wow.
Hey, look how big this town is. Look how big this town is. It's so big. Isn't it?
Wow.
Isn't it how big it is? You could, you ever see the Westons?
Yep.
This is the Westons. You go down one town, you're looking for the horses. And here, the Campus Cave is where I would get my...
Campus Cave is what?
Is where I get my T-shirts, my college books.
Now they have chicken.
Now I'm going to make a left-hand turn.
This is West University Street, huh?
There's Alumni Hall and Howell Hall and Saxon News up here. What? Boy, it's booming here, isn't it? This is the dorm where we're sleeping. Brick Hall, I think. Here's the Student Union to the left, where it says welcome. I don't know if you can see it. That's where I found out about Kennedy getting killed. I went over from here is the library, the famous library.
You still have books 50 years ago?
50 years ago. I used to spend hours in here.
What? You should have brought back that book that you borrowed.
Yeah, the Herrick Memorial Library. It was here 50 years ago. And that's basically all of Alfred. Let me go. I don't recall much more about this town, and you lived here. You're on a hill. You're on the side of a hill here. We were in the Saxon Inn. We just checked in. I don't know this area. Language House. These are... We'll go around the block. I don't know what else to tell you about the town. Very quiet place on a Thursday. Well, this is summer. This place is kind of bustling during the school year. In the autumn, it's beautiful here. Winter can be pretty dreary.
Just come early and go late. And I lived in one of these dorms. I wouldn't be surprised if I lived...
This wasn't a dorm, though. These are...
houses.
Well, how many people lived in these houses?
Well, Mrs. Armstrong's house. Could it be this one? I think, you want to know something? If I had to put my money on it, it would be this house, 30. This is where I live with my friend Lucas. I lived up there. I love to ring the doorbell.
And say hi. Go ahead.
Ring the doorbell and say, did Mrs. Armstrong live here?
Go ahead. I'm looking for Mrs. Armstrong. Neil Armstrong?
She was 80 years old when I was 18, 19.
Wow, so knock on the head. Go out.
No, there's nobody there.
Ring the door already. You'll never get a chance again. Get out. I'll wait for you.
I don't think anyone's there.
It's okay. Go see where he is.
Okay. I hope you don't mind. I will be. Thank you. This is the place.
So what did he say?
He said he doesn't go back that far. There was a family named Johnson that lived here for 30 years. He's been here for 30 years, and he said that he doesn't know what happened before that. I think Mrs. Armstrong, who was my, I remember the stairs. It's coming back to me. I lived here on the top floor with my friend Lucas.
Steps, huh?
What?
They haven't redone
So I'm
these
walking
steps.
back 50 years ago, 52 years ago, and this is where I stepped off with Mrs. Armstrong. And she would invite me to the Seventh-day Baptist churches, and I would sit in her room with the minister.
Yep.
And we'd come here. It comes back as soon as I see the number 30, and I walk the steps.
Was there a rocking chair like on the porch?
Yeah, she had a rocking chair, and I lived on the second floor. There was an Indian woman who also shared, a Indian woman who had a room, and believe it or not, a Pakistani person that lived in the room.
Is that the church back there or something?
No, but
you remember anything back there?
I don't know if you're allowed to go back now.
All right, let's go.
Take a quick look. I hope you don't mind.
Well, was he the owner?
Yeah. I used to come out here, study.
On the back porch here?
Yeah.
Remember it now?
I said I do.
Good. Jerry, you left your dirty laundry here.
Yeah, 50 years they took me to get my cleaned out.
Right.
Taking a big shot in the back.
Yeah.
It was a White House. Things comes back. This is I guess if you go back, the records, you can go into the town and find out what this is.
What about this building here? Do you remember this?
No, but it was probably
Okay.
1962.
Here are the keys. Hello.
Good evening. We just wanted to look.
You lived here?
Yeah.
With the Campbells?
I lived here with the Armstrong, Mrs. Armstrong, in 1963. Does that ring a bell? Unless I got the place wrong.
No,
You
this
have
is
the
it.
wrong house.
You didn't? Okay.
Because this was house, the only other people who've owned this house were named Campbell.
Oh. Then I got the wrong house.
Dean Robert,
He's an idiot.
Campbell. I graduated from high school in 1962.
Okay, then you would know. And you lived here.
No, I did not.
Oh.
But the Campbell family lived here
Okay.
then.
Then you didn't know a Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, but she never.
She did. You do
never
know a
lived
Mrs.
here.
Oh, but you do know a Mrs. Armstrong. You
Yes.
did know her.
Where'd she live?
Did you know this? What house she lived in? That was the house I was in.
She's got a daughter named Roberta.
She was an elderly woman. She was about 70 years old. To me, that was elderly. I'm not
Well,
saying.
the only Reuben Armstrong.
He passed away. Her husband passed away.
Well, that's way down the other end of Main Street.
It was me.
He's a...
No,
Okay, wasn't here. I'm
Just-
sorry.
That's
Forgive
funny.
me.
He just gave a 15-minute interview.
I'm glad you filled me in. I guess
sorry.
No,
that
but-
was Omicron.
I wish I knew her first name. Okay, thank you very much.
Lady
What?
Vincent Thomas.
She was a Seventh-day Baptist.
Yes, her name was Mamie Armstrong.
Right. Okay.
And I swear to you.
You know that.
Well, now wait a minute.
If you swear to me, I believe you.
No, wait a minute. Because she. I know her husband's granddaughter. And believe me, they lived down one house in from the corner of Green Street. It has pale, deteriorating, awful asbestos tile.
Okay, that's why I'm sick, because I've been...
Down.
Okay, nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Have a nice reunion.
Okay, thank you.
See you in another 50 years.
Another 50 years, I'll come back. Another 50 years, I'll come back and say, is this Mrs. Armstrong's house?
This is the
and you'll
house.
tell me you were here 50 years ago.
Okay.
All right, let's go back.
Have fun.
Okay. Does look like the house. What am I going to do?
So, Jerry, tell me about the porch here, how you sat on the porch with the rocking chair. And Tell me about these steps over here, right?
She's right. The woman had 3 husbands. I think she lived here. I don't care, but she says she does.
She lived here anyway. This is the house you went to, right?
Who cares? 50 years ago. Does it make a difference?
Okay. Nice. Okay.
The ghosts of...
Get back in the car.
The ghosts of... 4 years I spent in that library looking at all the girls. This is the girls around. There's a library across the way, and I would look at... Half the time I would look out the library and look at the beautiful girls coming up the brick, and I never got to first base with them. I'm finally getting there. After 50 years, I'm going to the brick.
To do what?
The women's sorority, the women's dorm. Now okay. I'm getting there. Oh, I gotta pee, so please let me go. Wow. Locked. It's locked. You can't get in.
Wait a second, I want to catch you going down the other stairway.
Rejected. 50 years later.
Yeah.
50 years later, I'm still getting rejected by the women's store.
You can't get in, huh?
50 years it took me to get to the brick. And I still can't get in.
All right. Try that one there. All right, so we're in the women's dorm room.
We're in the women's dorm room with the luxuries. The luxuries are great here. Yeah. We have no bathroom.
You got your bed, and
I got
my bed, right?
Right.
And this is the closet over here.
Yeah.
We've at least there's a light on.
The convenience of your home.
Yep. This is our luxury closet. And look, Jared, what do you want? We got a walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's a walk-in closet. Yeah.
Wow, look at the hangers and all. You can hang yourself up in here.
Yeah, look at these hangers. You know, these hangers were here when you were here 50 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. And they haven't been painted since then either.
Wow.
And they actually have a light that is actually burning in here.
Yes. Now,
here I am. I feel so good. This bed is bigger than my body. I can actually fit in here.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to be a humpback whale.
Yeah.
In order to enjoy the facilities of a nice reunion.
The Jerry Rosenbluth card, right? Hold it. Now, let me zoom in on this. Jerry Rosenbluth.
Boy, was I at that time young.
Wow, look at that.
And I'm still around.
Oh, look at you.
What a difference.
Yeah, yeah. So,
all right, we're at what they call Alumni Hall. This is where I had my civilization class, and everybody in the freshman class, every student had to take classes here on Monday through Friday, at around 9 o'clock, and the whole civilization class of about 300 people would be coming up here. This is where they had the movies, and they had the shows before 50 years ago, they didn't have a theater. They had it here. And in here is the famous, that's why it's on the National Register, Michael. It's on the National Register because of the fact that they have bells, Caroline bells, like Swiss bells, that ring out every Sunday morning for about an hour. And I think also every hour on the hour, even now, it rings out. At 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, it rings out a bell. So if we're here, we can hear a bell, but we certainly will hear it Sunday morning. It's no longer a church. It's part of the school. But they have these bells that ring out that proclaim Alfred to the world is still alive and moving in its own pace. Alfred, King of the Saxons, Alfred the Great. The school is named after Alfred the Great of England, the Saxon. And it's called the Saxon, Alfred Saxons, the football team. And Alfred, they put this thing up in 1990. Alfred was the king who represents the college. And it's one of the earliest coeducational schools in America. And over here is the student union. This is Welcome Alumni. This thing was up here in the early 60s. It was brand new when I was here. This is where I found out President Kennedy got killed on that Friday in November of 1963. I was in the library when it happened. I walked over for a coffee break at around 3:30, and the place was abuzz. I looked out the library. I saw all these people assembling towards the student union, and I went across and said, "What has happened?" They said, "Kennedy was shot."
So you had an alibi.
I had an alibi.
Wow.
But this is Canacadea Hall. This is where I majored in political science, and I would come out here, and if I did well in my finals, I would come out here and I'd sit down under this tree. I don't know if the benches were here, but I would sit down under this tree, on this ledge here, and say, "Woo, I'm done with the class. I think I did well in it." And I did do well in it. I had a B+ average in political science. And this is where I competed with Robert Klein, who went to school with me, the comedian, the famous comedian. He and I were in the same classes together. We would study under Fred Engelman, the political science teacher, who loved teaching me and Bob Klein and others in the classes. I remember taking political theory here and political science, and loved his classes. All right, on this site stood Lambda Chi Fraternity in 1964, and I used to pass this every day from my dorm to my school class, and it was basically a fraternity for boys that didn't permit Jews to get involved in their fraternity.
That was their basic goal,
There were 6 fraternities in Alfred when I was going, and 4 of them didn't have a Jew.
So that
we were told, don't apply because you won't be in because you're Jewish.
So that was the mainstay of the fraternity.
Well, 4 out of the 6.
Yeah.
The other 2 permitted, mainly were Jewish. I wasn't any fraternity, but this was a fraternity school, and if you were not in a fraternity, you were basically for 2 years you couldn't drink, you couldn't drive a car. The only place you could drink was in a fraternity. So people went to fraternities to learn how to drink because it was a dry town. Seventh-day Baptist town controlled the town. 2 colleges, yet the Seventh-day Baptist didn't permit drinking on campus. From the Prohibition era, it kept going on, and it's still that way as far as I know today, that you can't drink in Alfred. Michael, this is a misnomer. Alfred was known for being a dry town. You couldn't drink here. I come back to Alfred and I see a sign that says, "Wine and spirits," I refuse to believe it. How you doing? Let me ask you a question. I haven't been here in 50 years, okay?
Yep.
When I was here 50 years ago, this was a dry town.
Yep.
It's no longer a dry town. When did they change the look? Which is fine with me. Fine with me.
49 years ago.
Back in the 70s, when everybody kept crashing their cars coming from the Beacon down to Thatcherville,
Right.
they decided maybe it was time to sell it here in town instead of have everybody crashing their
You
cars.
know, I was one of those kids that would go down there occasionally to drink there, and I came back one day in 1963, and a car was careening down the roadway, and I thought it was a dead duck. It was nighttime. It was, and obviously, I thought the guy must have been obviously out of his mind.
Probably.
He was going I don't know. He was going the wrong way. I mean, he must have been drunk, but he was going that way. He was going to the bar. It was between Hornell and Alfred. It was a place called, what was the name?
Beacon.
The Beacon?
Yep.
Was that there there a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an empty building now.
It's an empty building because you became a wet town. I mean, thank God.
Yeah.
I was not a member. If you weren't a member, in those days, when I was going, you could drink in a fraternity. If you were in a fraternity, they would have you. But I wasn't a member of a fraternity. I was under. I think in those days, I think you could drink at 18.
Yes.
And I turned 18, but you had to go down to Hornell. You had to go. Yeah, it was 12 miles away. It seemed like 12 miles away.
That's about right.
And then one day, I remember coming out of that bar, and I was so loaded that I walked back. You know, and I actually walked 12 miles back, and I remember my legs to this day. I remember the guys who walked. All right, folks. This was my descent every morning or afternoon, after a hard day of work, I would come down here to the post office, which was down these steps, by my bank, to get my money in order to keep going and to get my laundry done. Down here, down here every day as I came. This is my daily trek, or my release. Let's put it that trek, a release to get out of school, to go into the town. Leave these steps, leave the Alfred, and you get into Alfred the town instead of Alfred the university.
What do you guys want to say about that?
I gotta say, I had a nice battle with a nice friendly cordial with an Anglo-Saxon warrior.
Okay, everybody.
This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that empty valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond desert, and all around me that voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Yeah.
it was 188, but I could be wrong.
No. You graduated, guys?
How many
It was a
were
lot more than that.
graduation after 4
Yeah, I think it
years?
was.
I'm talking 4 years.
I know, I was fourth from the bottom, so I
Then you must have been 184.
So I'm not sure how many we graduated with.
Who's the query you ran?
The query I ran was anybody who was graduated from the class of 64 that was not deceased or missing, or that we had a good address on, and I got 309 names.
Really? 309. So you maybe had another 50 or 75 you couldn't find. First went down to our first class.
Orientation at 8 o'clock in the morning.
It was orientation, and we all sat there, and they said, look to the left, look to the right.
One of you
Only
won't
one of you
graduate.
was going to say that. You remember?
Yes.
That was in the alumni hall.
Dick Gilmore didn't graduate.
Well, and
My other
50
roommate.
Shut up. You're welcome. And 50 years later, well, here we are. And we made friends, and we lost some. We fell in love, and we fell out of love, and maybe we fell in love again. But here we go, we just kept going. And I guess we just kept going.
Richie Mayer, I don't know, whatever the guy's name was. He's a Jewish guy from one of the Jewish fraternities. He said, I just started dating him. We just started going out and really like him. He's a really nice guy.
Well, I used to have. I want to tell you something.
No, but it would have been. It always would have been ended.
I would have been competing with you, but I never would have had the guts.
No, I would have been ended by their mother.
You want to know something?
Robbie Gross, remember Roberta Gross?
Yes.
She was here a freshman. She was a little thing. She had a long leg or something. She was adorable. She and I smooched a little bit behind the Steinheim and stuff.
Maybe it was a strain. Whatever it was.
And I wasn't encumbered because I'm the only
You know, the lesson is hard.
So what did you learn from Alfred University on this reunion? Huh?
I learned that the people are still kind and gentle and accepting of me.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. What did you learn from Alfred?
Oh, I don't remember much of anything. Just the age has gotten to the point where...
He's embarrassing you.
Anything about this weekend that you're going to remember?
Say again?
Anything about this weekend that you're going to remember?
No, I don't think so.
What about you?
I'm a total blank.
You're like me.
Too much of a party last night.
But yesterday you said you were having such a good time with your wife.
Oh, is that my wife?
That could be anywhere.
What about you, sir? Did you learn anything on this package?
Well, it was good. It was good to see everybody here.
Good to see everyone. Did you know anyone?
I know them now.
You know them now.
I know them now.
This way, in 5 years from now.
I can say I know you. I remember you. I can't remember you over the last 4 years, but I remember you. Yeah, I'll be able to do that. And always the last moments are the best moments, right? The last moments.
That's it, Jerry. So we're leaving now.
Yeah,
huh?
we're leaving. Yeah. But I can't get rid of you. Okay. It's fun. It's been fun, Mike.
Yes, it
This man was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that empty valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled sparkling sands of her diamond desert, and all around me that voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
Okay. I like that.
First, because it sounded better the second time.
It did? Hi. I thought you